What's going on, YouTube, fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. Most people's daily routine consists of getting up in the morning, getting themselves together, and prepared to hit that clock and go to work. Whether you have a job to sustain you while you are looking for something bigger, it all makes sense because like the old saying goes, if you don't work, you don't eat. And like my great grandmother used to say, a half a loaf is better than no loaf. Meaning, don't complain. At least you have a way to survive. But for some individuals, they had worked their way past just having a job. They have a career. And the lucky ones have a place in the field of work they love to do. Feeling a sense of fulfillment has to be a great thing, especially when you make dollars for something you like to do anyway. But no matter your place of employment, if you work around other people, things can get tricky. We all know a lot goes on in the workplace, from affairs, stealing, secrets, to the point you kind of think to yourself as soon as you apply for a job, I wonder what type of stuff is going on here. But most people mind their business, do their 8 hours, and go home. But what if your job has significance to helping the community and making your city a better place? That could change the whole dynamics of how you view work and how you carry it. But what you might feel is a worthy cause, a co-worker might look at it as just another job. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to the city of brotherly love, Philly, to discuss the case of a man who confessed to slaying his supervisor while she was on her way to work. All the way back in 2015, 56-year-old Kim Jones was in a good place in her life. The mother of two had just recently got married, went back to school, receiving her MBA, and did the kind of work that fed her soul. See, Kim was big on community and helping out the people in her city. Whether she volunteered at the soup kitchen to feed the less fortunate, gave out clothes, but her career was a supervisor of a non-profit organization that helped children get out of bad situations and have a voice if things weren't right at home. She thrived in her position and took what she did very seriously. A short time prior, the organization had also hired her second in command, 36-year-old Randolph Sanders. Randolph worked as the assistant director right under Kim. He seemed ambitious and seemed like the two shared a lot of goals, helping the people in their community. The two co-workers got along good for a minute. He knew her routine about her family life, and Kim knew his. She even invited Randolph to her wedding. As time went by, Kim realized something was off about the organization's finances. It seemed large amounts of money kept coming up missing. She knew she would never steal a dime from the program. And other employees had been working with her for years, and none of them had ever stolen either. The only thing that had changed was her assistant director. As Kim grew suspicious of Randolph, their relationship changed. Other co-workers felt it was tension in the air, but no one knew why. Finally having all her information correct and feeling like the company's financial crisis was because of her second in charge, she confronted Randolph about stealing over $42,000 from the company. She explained to the man that she would have to answer for that. At first, he denied the allegations, but Ms. Kim knew she had her facts straight. On January 12, 2015, she let Randolph know she would be going down to DHS and report him for stealing the money. He played it cool, but inside, the man was in a panic. The next day, on January 13th, Kim got up and got ready to head to work. Staying true to her morning routine, she bundled up, grabbed her headphones, and headed out to catch the SEPTA bus. About 9:15 a.m., while listening to gospel music at the bus stop, a person approached Ms. Kim, and seconds later, shots went off before the individual fled on foot. Neighbors who heard the shots called local police, who responded to 12th and Jefferson Street, not too far from Temple University, to find 56-year-old Kim Jones suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. She would unfortunately be pronounced gone at the scene. Police were confused because none of her belongings were taken. She still had her headphones in, and people let it be known the lady had no known enemies. Robbery was marked out as a motive, and the community was scared it was someone shooting people on a bus stop for nothing. As co-workers and family got the news, they were devastated that a woman who loved her community so much could be taken so easily. Her son spoke out and stated the only thing that gave him peace during that difficult time was she was doing another thing she loved to do, listening to her gospel music. A vigil was held for Ms. Kim, and even Randolph seemed hurt. Telling the news during the interview, he was in shock. She was a good person who didn't deserve to be taken like that. As Philly detectives got on the case, they realized their best bet was checking the footage from city cameras in the area. They got video back from by the bus stop. It showed the person in dark clothes with a duffel bag walking before the shots was fired. They then looked at the footage from on the bus in another location that showed the person board the bus after the shooting that had on the exact same thing. With city surveillance, police was able to track the individual's movements all the way back to a truck as they got off the bus and surprisingly walked over to a car. As information came out showing the truck and the suspect, co-workers of Kim and Randolph knew he drove a similar truck. And even though nobody knew why, they knew the relationship between the two had become shaky. Police decided they wanted to bring Randolph in for questioning. During his interview, at first he denied doing anything to Kim and claimed they were friends until police laid out the evidence, which caused Randolph to make a full confession. Telling them the day before, Kim told him she was going to report him for stealing the $42,000 from their company. Scared he would go to jail, he came up with a plan, knowing her routine. Randolph sat by her house and trailed Kim for over an hour before waiting until the perfect time to shoot while she was on the bus stop, feeling like her death would conceal his secret. He was taken into custody, charged with premeditated first-degree hit. As the company's CEO spoke out about the chain of events, he stated everyone was both shocked and concerned and had no idea that things was getting that serious at the company. But he stated co-workers could have never imagined that Randolph would be the trigger man. As the case made its way to trial, it was open and shut. Randolph had already confessed to his motives and actions, and at 39 years old, he was given a life sentence, convicted of first-degree hit. The community that she worked hard for tried to keep Miss Kim's memory alive. Rest in peace to Miss Kim. I send my prayers and condolences to her family. It's crazy to think someone would think they would get away with doing what Randolph did. He was so confident, he did a news interview after the fact. He allowed his greed to put him in a trick bag, stealing over 40 racks from the company, knowing Miss Kim wasn't on that type of time. Then he turned that $42,000 to a life sentence. That's an expensive secret. I want to hear from y'all. Do you have co-workers that be on this type of time, stealing, having affairs, secrets at work and all that? If so, how do you handle that? Do you carry it like if it don't apply, then let it fly, as long as it don't affect you? Or do you address them or someone higher up? Let me know in the comments. And remember, we got to succeed not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, this was a crazy story. Rest in peace, Miss Kim. I definitely send my prayers to her family. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Y'all let me know in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This your boy Tony 2 times. This another episode of Hood Tales. I'm out.